Mr. Blue, I told you that I love.
Hi guys.
Hi.
So I'm Mel, and this is my special guest Matty, and this is Soul Art. So I wanted to talk about worry and anxiety, and we're gonna do a project that goes along with it. But before...
I love projects.
All right, they're fun and they really help us kind of explore some of our feelings and work through our anxieties. But before I explain what the project is, I kind of want to show what Matty and I did yesterday together. We made him an art therapy kit. You want to show them?
Okay, so I got a makeup bag, right? And I got a bunch of little glass bottles for me to keep, like, definitely glitter.
Glitter.
There's definitely gonna be glitter. And then I got a bunch of little puff balls for me to glue to stuff, because, like, puffy things are awesome. And then I got a bunch of little tiny things of paint at the dollar store. And altogether it was like $6, and I got 6 of them.
Yeah.
And I got a bunch of paintbrushes.
Like, literally, you don't even have to spend money on the high-end stuff. We got all of this at the dollar store.
Nobody has time for that.
And you want to show them our other version of your art journal that we made?
Yeah.
So I think you guys remember my art therapy kit. Mine involved an art journal that I can flip through. So we were trying to find something that Matty would like. This one's a little different. So we were trying to come up with something that fit his personality that's very special, but we couldn't find a book that was good enough for Matty's wonderful personality. I think he's awesome.
Me too.
And he's very unique in the best way. So we needed to get him a unique thing.
Right.
So check this out.
We went to a craft store and we found one of those display books they have. It's actually like a case for you to put things in. It doesn't actually have paper pages. And then I got a bunch of construction paper and made my own pages. So this is the art journal. It's not a journal.
Yeah.
It's adorable, just like me.
It's really cool. I love how you came up with it. It's got, and he can just take out each page and he can put them in an order that he likes, or take them. It's just a really cool idea.
It's a neat idea, and like when I'm starting to run out of pages, or if I use them for something, then I have room for my paint and the bottles and all that other stuff. So
yeah, it doesn't have to be a one-way deal when it comes to doing creative therapies. You can literally do anything that fits your whimsy.
I like it. It's a good word.
So,
word of the day, guys.
Word of the day. Whimsy. Use it at least 3 times today.
I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I already did it twice.
You just got one more?
Yeah, it's pretty whimsy. Hey.
You cheater. Okay, so I wanted to talk today about what is called a worry jar. These are some special little jars. We use glass jars to paint. I painted mine already. He's in the middle of painting. So while he continues to paint his, I wanted to talk about what these can be used for, my intention for mine is, and maybe you'll find the same use out of it. So, first of all, I want you to take notice. It's not. I'm doing these art projects. I'm the one leading you through them. It's not perfectly neat, It's not. It's no Picasso. But it's something that I love doing, and it's something that makes me feel better. And it took quite a bit of time to make it. So that meant that was quite a bit of time where I was having my hands busy and my mind busy, focused on something else, rather than having my mind go over the same thing, just mulling it over and possibly turning to something that's destructive. So what the worry jar is for is you take like a sticky note or a little piece of paper, whatever you find works, and you write down what you're worried about. So, Matty, what would you write down?
I would write down bills and the fact that the whole world is absolutely nuts right now.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that I stress about.
I agree. I mean, not only are our bills really hard to keep up, we're young people just starting to figure out that we're adults. We're new to the whole adulting, so that's already a stressful thing to deal with. And of course, for people who are very empathetic or empathic, you'll experience especially the feeling of the world being off kilter right now. You'll see the things that are happening, and it'll cause you a lot of stress and a lot of the feelings of helplessness. I know that I do. I have this weird thing where I feel like I have to save the world, but I can't. So there's that feeling. So that's definitely two great things that you could put in your worry jar. So you'd set it in your worry jar, you just throw it in there. And it's basically, I don't know if you've heard of the mental container. A lot of therapists teach about it. You create in your mind like a box or a jar, whatever you can mentally think of, and you take the thoughts that are worrying you and put it in the jar. This is exactly what that is. It's just more tangible, so you can actually see what that looks like.
Right.
You can see it be put away.
And you can make like a little ceremony out of it just to remember that you did put it away.
You can, honestly. I remember this is a true story. I remember being at this little kind of Zen place. It was mainly for people who had cancer or have cancer or already were out of treatment. And it was a very Zen, very calming place. And they had this little hallway, and they had these jars, and it was dark, and each jar had like an LED candle on the inside, so it was glowing, and one in the front. And you were supposed to, like, for each jar, it had a word like joy, peace, or worry. And you just take a piece of paper and you put what matches in there, like what was happy today, what worries you today. It was like this whole little ceremony. So you could definitely do something like that. Like, just make it a whole ritual for you, however that works.
Yeah. And that just brings up the thing that it doesn't even have to be a worry jar. You could just put things that you're excited about and then keep them in there and hold them.
It's whatever you want to do. You can have multiple jars, one for worry, one for joys, one for good memories. Or you can just have one jar that encompasses. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's your job. But for me, I have a lot of anxiety. And so I have the tendency to just hold on to that anxiety and never let it go and just feel helpless about it.
That's not a good thing.
It's right. So it's a good thing to take your little pieces of paper, put it in your jar. Now, that's not to say that you're going to forget about what is causing you that anxiety, because it's obviously, whatever it is very important to deal with. The more you just put it in your jar and you don't acknowledge it, the more it's going to build up inside, and the more likely you are to just emotionally explode. And I've done it, and a lot of us have just exploded.
I'm pretty sure
everyone has, right?
Yeah.
But this is hopefully going to help a little bit, because once you've finished putting it in your jar, the idea is to use another coping skill. So you can choose another painting project, or you can choose a couple of drawing. You can dance. Dance therapy is one. You can put on some music and just zone out to that. Or there's so many different things that we will also be going through over during this span of videos that I want to go through to help you kind of figure out what your coping skill might be.
It's good to know.
Yeah. So while in the meantime, you just kind of zone out to what you're doing. It might take a day or two to kind of collect yourself. It might take you an hour. But you do have to come back to the worry jar if that's what you're making.
An idea that I've had for mine is that I'm just gonna fill it up with things that stress me out, and every day I'm gonna take one out in the morning, and I'm gonna work on doing something about that, and then mix it back into the rest of them.
Exactly, because just because you deal with it one time doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to be easy for you.
Right. Like if it worries you enough to put it in a jar that you made, then it's obviously something that's going to be able to worry you in the future. So it's good to have that reminder that you've done it before.
You can do it again.
Yeah, you've solved it before.
I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Do you want to show them what your jar looks like so far?
Yeah, so it's going to be yellow on the outside, and then the top is blue, and then the inside is going to be pink, so it's nice and bright and shiny.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel positive and excited when I go in and do stuff with it instead of just a dark, scary jar.
It's you're going with like the feeling of what you want to feel, some more than what the fear that you're putting
like
in.
I want to be excited to be able to go in and fix something.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So, let's see. We've gone over his art therapy kit. He's working on a jar, and I love the idea that he came up with. You face it every day. You face a new fear, a new worry, and work on that. And that's
how you grow as a person.
That's how you grow as a person. And you know what? That's something I've been struggling with a lot. I personally it's personally been called to my attention recently by my husband that I tend to push things away. I mean, I'm leading you through this process, but that doesn't mean I'm perfect. That doesn't mean I'm a therapist, or let's be honest, I want to make it clear, I'm not a therapist, I'm not certified, and I'm not going to treat you in any way, because I'm just a regular person with regular emotions, and I do push problems away.
And it's natural. Everyone does that.
Yeah, and it is like you said, it's natural. We're created, we're evolved, or made, or whatever you believe, but our nature is to avoid pain. But rather than avoiding pain, I think it's a good idea to look at it and figure out what good we got from the situation and what were the things that needed to change, so that we can take the good and then throw the bad away and make more good.
Right. Like, it's important to remember that pain is part of who you are, and that most people develop their personalities and who they are as a person because of pain that they've gone through.
Yeah.
So it's good. Like, the point isn't to put it away and leave the jar there and know that your pain isn't there now. It's good to have those reminders that you're marching on. You got what you got. That's how it works.
For sure. So, one thing I really want to encourage, I do have an Instagram, and I'm going to be making a hashtag so that you guys can show us the projects that you're creating as we go along through projects. So it's going to be hashtag Soul Art Saves. That's hashtag SOULARTSAVES. Go ahead, and whenever you make a project, please go ahead and post it on Instagram with your the hashtag. And Matty would love to see.
Yeah, I'm totally excited. I want to see all of them.
And I'm sure all of you would like to see each other's projects too, just to see the differences in all of our levels of life, of skill, of emotion, and just get inspiration, but from knowing that you all are going through something, and you're going, even if you're apart and don't know each other, you're going through it together.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate all of you who are following Soul Art. I want to let you know that I am selling on an Etsy shop. This Etsy shop is to fund Soul Art. 70% of every purchase does go to the Soul Art project, meaning that I'm trying to take the project to a couple different mental health events. And the registration fees for these events tend to run over $100. And I'm trying to save up money. I'm trying to raise money to go to these events so that I can actually show these processes, these coping skills, to people who don't know that this is a possibility, an option for them.
Yeah, you guys might even see her there.
Exactly. So I would like to invite you to go ahead and check out my Etsy shop. It's called The Artistic Melbug. I'll put a link in the description as well so that you guys can see it and click on it and look at what I've got. I really appreciate all your views, all your, just you being here makes me happy. So
I'm happy to be here.
yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Matt. Do you have anything else to say?
No.
All right, then I think we've covered everything, so we're gonna sign off. Thank you so much for coming. Happy soul art, happy painting.